Hi, fourth graders. Welcome back for another lesson on decimals. Today our I can statement is I can use area models and number lines to represent mixed numbers with units of ones, tenths, and hundredths in fraction and decimal forms. So you're going to be watching a video and then coming back to me to work on a few sample problems. So go ahead and watch your video and I'll see you back in a few minutes. Welcome back. Now it's your turn to try a few. The first problem, you're going to shade the area models to represent the number, drawing horizontal lines to make hundredths as needed. Locate the corresponding point on the number line. Label with a point and record the mixed numbers as a decimal. Push pause to solve the problem. When you're finished solving, push play to get the next problem. Your next problem, you're going to write the equivalent fraction and decimal for each of the following numbers. A, 1 2 hundredths. B, 1 17 hundredths. Push pause to solve and then play for the next problem. Your last problem, you're going to draw lines from dot to dot to match the decimal form to both the unit form and fraction form. All unit forms and fractions have at least one match and some have more than one match. All right, so push pause so you can solve the problem and then play and we'll go over those three problems. All right, how did you do? The first problem was 1 in 15 hundredths. So we colored in the whole first grid, and on the next one, you should have colored in the first tenth or the first column. And in the second column, we had to break that one up by drawing those horizontal lines to show hundredths. So that one should have been broken up into 10 smaller pieces, and then 5 should have been colored. Then our fraction was 1 and 1/10 plus 5 hundredths, which equals 1 in 15 hundredths. Then on the number line, we should have found between 1 and 2, we were looking for 1/10. So that's our first mark. And in between the 1/10 and the 2/10, there needed to be 10 little lines. And then you go to the fifth line, it's a very small space, and we labeled that 1 in 15 hundredths. All right, our next problem, we were to write the equivalent fraction in decimal. So the first one was 1 2 hundredths. So our fraction was 1 and then a 2 over 100 for 1 and 2 hundredths. And that was equal to 1.02 or 1 and 2 hundredths. All right, for letter B, 1 17 hundredths, we have one whole, and then 17 hundredths, or 17 over 100, equals 1 and 17 hundredths, or 1.17. And to show that as a number bond for the fraction, we have a one whole, then we have our 1/10 and our 7 hundredths. All right, and our last problem, we were matching. So 7 1s 13 hundredths matched with 7 and 13 hundredths. 7 1s 3 hundredths matched with 7 and 3 hundredths with a 0 in the tenths place. 7 1s 3/10 was the tricky one. It had two answers. So 7 and 3/10, which was 7.3, but also 7 and 30 hundredths was the same as 7 and 3/10. And then the last one, 7 10s 3 1s, is the same as 73. On our other side, we have 7 and 3 100ths, and that goes over here to 7 and 3 hundredths. 73 matches with 73. They're exactly the same. Then 7 and 13 hundredths matches with 7 and 13 hundredths, or 7.13. And then 7 and 30 hundredths matches with 7 and 30 hundredths, and 7 and 3/10. So there are all of your answers. I hope we learned something in today's lesson, and hopefully you'll come back tomorrow for some more math fun.